Especially the SNP talks a lot about an independent Scotland rejoining the EU. But how easy would that really be? That's what I want to talk about in this video. I'm Mark. Greetings from Germany. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another Brexit video. Today, of course, first of all, Happy New Year to all of you. It seems so close to Brexit, Germany wanted to import something from the UK before there are tariffs on it. And so yesterday on New Year's Eve, we had very British weather here in Münster. For today's topic, let's hypothetically say Scotland got its referendum and Scotland got independent and they're applying for EU membership. That's what they're gonna do or have to do. First of all, it could be easier than for other countries because many standards and regulations are still on EU level, except Boris Johnson and the UK as a whole got different regulations in the meantime. And I mean different, I don't mean worse or better, I just mean different. Everything different has to be brought back into alignment. Because in the beginning of this application process, there will be a screening by the EU, where the EU checks in very different areas what are the current standards of the applicant, in this case Scotland. Then there will be the negotiations. And in these negotiations they have to get through 35 different chapters. And for every new EU member, the euro is obligatory, so it also will be checked, are the results there to become a member of the Eurozone as well. It doesn't have to be at the moment of the membership, but on perspective they have to be able to join. There, of course, a 7% deficit would be too high as it is at the moment in Scotland, compared to the 3% deficit that is allowed for the Eurozone. But it's not blocking a membership in that case. But there are 35 chapters of the different kind that have to be checked. And that takes time. So there is no way that Scotland will join the EU within months after independence. It will take years, as it would usually do, even if there are some parts that are much easier because of the current standards in Scotland, but it will still take years. And in the end there will be a contract between the European Commission and Scotland, and that contract has to be agreed on both by the Parliament of the EU and the Council of the European Union. That's not the one with the chiefs of state or heads of government. That's the one with the ministers, depending on what topic is discussed there at the moment. There are many majority votes in that council, but on an important topic like this, the vote has to be unanimous. And after that, the contract has to be ratified in all 27 EU member states. And they do have different laws for doing that. France, for example, has made it a law in the meantime that every new member has to be ratified in France by a people's referendum. In Germany, it has to be ratified by Parliament and additionally the positive vote of the Federal Council. And the Council of the EU and the ratification process, that's the point where the problems really get started. As we all know, Boris Johnson doesn't want to grant a second referendum, and Nicola Sturgeon said she wants to use every legal way she's got to get this referendum without Boris Johnson's permission, let's say Supreme Court, whatever she has in mind for that, we will see. But if that happens without consent of Westminster or the government, that would bring a lot of problems for Scotland. Because some people who are always saying Scotland will easily join the EU, they always forget Spain and France. Spain have their own independence problems with the Catalans, and France have their problem with the Basques. And these two areas, you definitely will remember the Catalan problems with Puigdemont being sentenced to jail by the Spanish government for an illegal referendum and so on. And if a Scottish independence would come by referendum without the permission of the central government, that would set a precedence inside the EU if Scotland becomes an EU member for Spain and France. Because the Catalans and the Basques would argue then at the European Court, look what happened in Scotland, that was legal, and we have our own freedom to proceed with independence referendum, and we want that freedom. So there are two big hurdles. First of all, Scotland will not join the EU quickly after independence. That's point one, but that can be worked on. But the second one is, if it happens the way I described, they might never join the EU because it will be vetoed by Spain or France or both. And for Scotland joining the EU, you need a unanimous vote. So of course I know the hopes of a majority of people in Scotland to be a part of the EU, but I really wanted to show with that video, I didn't want to scare you, but I wanted to show there's not always black and white, and you can just not always work with the headlines, we want independence and we want in there, or we don't, or whatever. You really have to have a look at the details. That is something that's missing in a lot of parts of the discussions I get every day. I can read in comments on my video, on other videos. People are missing out details, and I wanted to show with this video how important details really are and the bigger picture really is, and not concentrate on one fact. You have to see the whole picture there. From these comments I also got that not many people are too interested in the structures of the EU, although they have a big influence on all our lives, being inside or outside the EU. It is an important player anyway. So if you do want to learn a little bit more the EU and its structures, have a look on the playlist I put down here. It's my playlist about EU Explained. I'll see you there. Viel Spaß!